you seem unwell.
No, I'm not
Are you
unwell.
not
It's
well?
just that no, I'm absolutely well. It's just that my throat has been bad for quite some long now. So it's pretty long
Mhm.
throat ache. Nothing other than that. So my voice has just become such, but I'm good. Thanks for asking though.
You're
Right.
welcome.
All right. So I am not a cricket fan, but I just saw on social media a lot of people were posting about cricket. Apparently it was a great match. Did you watch it or do you watch cricket?
I really don't follow cricket.
All right. Okay. Me neither.
Yeah,
I just thought you did, so wanted to
yeah,
ask. Mm. Uh,
yeah. But
uh-huh. All right. Now, what would you like to talk about in today's topic, or what would you like to do in today's topic?
anything, any random topic or any random, like whatever is best.
Okay, all right. I'm not a fan of the topic we have for the day. So yeah, maybe we'll go ahead with a random conversation. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
all right. Okay. Any particular topics of interest, areas of interest that we can probably talk about?
I really have keen interest in wildlife.
Wildlife. All right. So my
Yeah.
first thing I'd like to ask is what engendered your interest in wildlife?
So it is actually in my genes. So we have a farm in Indo-Nepal border. It is adjacent to Dudhwa National Park. So
Okay.
my father, he is a farmer. Like he's an agriculturist. We are actually from an agricultural background. And my grandfather, he used to hunt. Of course, it was not for just pleasure. It was the indeed a requirement because where our farm is located, it is like all the animals come from the Dudhwa National Park, and it is very densely, like it is dense. The forest is so dense there, and everyone in my family, have very keen interest in wildlife, watching animals, and we have had such experiences in our farmhouse, and we have so many things to tell people. We have so many things to share, you know that like one of the instances I'll share with you. Okay.
Please
That
do.
had happened in our farmhouse. So my father, he was coming back from work. Okay, he had some work, and while he was coming back, like he was on his bike, though he wasn't riding that bike. Someone else was riding the bike, and my father was sitting behind him. Okay, so suddenly the bike stops. Okay, and my father asked the guy who was riding the bike that, hey, why have you suddenly stopped the bike? So he says that, okay, just look in front of you. So there was a huge tiger sitting right
Oh,
middle on the road. Yeah.
okay.
So, and it was, I guess, already 7 or 8 at night. And
Uh-huh.
there, if it is 7, in that kind of environment, it is like 12 or 1 o'clock here, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
would
yeah. Yeah, I
compare it.
understand, man. Mm.
So, and he was calm, of course, because he was born and raised there. Like,
Right. He was
my
familiar.
my my father, he has seen so many things, so
Mm.
it was cool for him. It was all cool for him. So he tells the guy, just remain calm. Okay. And you just keep the ignition on. Okay, do not switch off the ignition, just keep the ignition on. And he gets down from the bike. Okay, my father.
He
All
got
right.
down. He got down. He
Yes,
got off the bike.
yes. He got down from the bike, and then he walks, towards the tiger. Okay, because he knows the mentality of a tiger. Uh, somehow, because animals are even carnivores. They are
Yeah.
afraid of men. Of
Right.
course, we don't have to actually do it. We won't be able to do anything if we see a
Right.
tiger
Right.
in front of us. But yes, this is because he was not carrying any weapon or anything, or any thing which would have came as self. uh, defense, you know. But
Mm.
what he did was he walked up to he walked for, I guess, 2 meters, you know,
Uh-huh.
and there was some distance from him and the tiger, and then he was like the tiger got up after a couple of seconds, and he was like, okay, why did you wake me up? Okay, he was like, so and
Yeah.
when the tiger got up, his stomach was touching the ground,
Ah,
you
okay.
know, so he might have had eaten something at that point in time, you know.
Oh, that's why he was
He
hungry
had
and didn't attack.
hunted, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that is why the tiger did not attack. uh so
Wow.
then he actually gave the way to my father and the rider. So
Yeah.
then he got back on the bike, but my father told the rider, okay, while you start the bike, don't
Mm.
look here and there. If you just
Oh,
look here and there, and you'll just fall from the bike,
right, right.
you know.
Yeah.
So they just rode the bike, and then when they reached home, then they had to listen a lot from my grandfather that by like
Why?
by this hour, you know, you were riding, because the route was very
Yeah,
very
yeah,
risky. So this was such example that, of course, so uh, where I'm coming from, so now you would know why
yeah.
I
Right.
have
Now I
such,
understand.
because I have been listening to such stories since my childhood. So, of course, whenever I go to my farmhouse, so and I really wanted to become. So I'm just an English honors. I'm just a plain English honors graduate,
Mm.
and I love reading books. I love to read about books, those which are actually based on forest and
Okay.
animals, hunting, especially
Such
Jim
as?
Corbett books. I have read all Jim Corbett books. I'm so sorry. You were saying something.
No, no, I was just asking such as like what books you then you answered without hearing the question like Jim Corbett books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
I'm really
instant.
fascinated. Trust me, I'm really fascinated right now by whatever you're sharing with me. Because I myself have deep interest in it, but I've never explored the interest or pursued it or maybe indulged myself into it. So it's really fascinating to hear all these experiences from you.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that.
Yeah.
So this was one of the such examples, and apart from that, there were many instances that had happened, and of course, I love watching documentaries as well, which are based
Okay.
on hunting, and you know, I
Uh-huh.
love to Google them out, and I love watching videos on YouTube related to it.
Right, right.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
my favorite
Which is,
channel is Animal Planet.
oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
We
my,
used to watch that when we were children all the time.
yeah. So we have Discovery as well. What happens in Discovery? So you know, you get to see everything in Discovery
Yeah, yeah.
related to science and everything.
Right, right,
And
right.
earlier they used to earlier they used to showcase only animals, but now
Mm.
you know,
They've expanded.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They are actually expanded. But yes, if we solely talk about Animal Planet, you get to see only animals. Like the information that you get to see that
Mm. Right.
from
It was
Animal
very
Planet.
fascinating. Yeah, that definitely was also very educative, very enduring and very grounding as well to learn about animals, to learn about other species and
Yeah.
understand them as somebody who also have a life on the planet, who you share the planet with. So I think it's
Oh,
very
absolutely. It is altogether a
educational.
different world if you see, and it
Mm.
is not only confined with the animals which are on land. You know,
Yes.
it is with like if you get to see the life which is like underwater
Right.
oceans.
Right.
So that is
Marine
altogether
life.
a different world. It is so
Absolutely.
vast. It is beyond imagination. If we
It
really delve
absolutely.
into it, so it is
Mhm.
like, again, universe, like everything. It is so like these things are so like very interesting, very involving. I would say.
Uh-huh. I think they're also very humbling in the sense that they keep reminding us that we're not the only ones living on the planet, or the life doesn't revolve around us. There are things
Oh
much
yeah,
bigger
yeah,
than
yeah.
us. They're very humbling in that context,
Absolutely.
I feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
This is just
Well,
a tiny part in in the galaxy or in the universe. So again,
absolutely. Tiniest, tiniest of the tiny part.
tiny, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Right. Um, I think I do need to take the utilize the time now to give you feedback.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, to start with, you speak really well. I have really high curiosity and also understanding what brought you to Clapingo and what's been keeping you here. Because there's nothing that I could point out. You feel you're a regular English speaker, like people who generally speak in English, and it's not a big thing for them. However, if I do have to point out something for you,
Yeah,
it will
please.
be when you were narrating the story about your father and the tiger. You started out the story with past tense because it is situated in
Yeah,
past, but then midway you shifted to simple present tense, and then there
yeah,
were just swings from past to present.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think in that area you could have tried to segregate it,
yeah,
compartmentalize that. If I'm telling a story and it's from past, so we stick to the past.
yeah, yeah,
However, I did
absolutely.
not interrupt you because your flow was good and your present tense or the tenses, respective tenses that you were using were used correctly. But then again, when we're narrating a story or when we're talking about anything, there should be set tenses in our mind because it makes it easier to understand it that way. I knew you're telling a story, so it didn't confuse me. But then
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is something that can be worked upon. Yeah.
definitely.
Anything else you want to know or you want to talk about or ask?
No, that was indeed a great session, I would say. And
Uh, well,
yeah.
that's amazing. Oh, if I could utilize the last 2 minutes we have, I'd really like to know what brought you here or what's keeping you at the platform.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I was I associated myself with Clapingo right from the very beginning. And when
Okay.
Clapingo had started, I had, instantly joined Clapingo. So I thought that this
Okay.
is indeed a very good platform.
All
So
right.
then I
Okay.
was with Clapingo for 5 to 6 months, and after that I took a gap for about a year, and after again I thought that I should join back and let's see how it goes. And I received a feedback as well a couple of times that Faraz, why don't you become a tutor? So I was
Yeah.
like, okay. So what I believe is that right now I'm not ready on. Still, I have a YouTube channel as well, and where I teach
Oh,
English, and you know so whatever I learn I try to spread that. uh,
uh,
I,
noted.
and I really want to become a public speaker, and what I believe is that if I'm able to inculcate all these things in my language, uh,
Mhm.
like whatever I learn, and this would be the best thing. If I'm having a conversation on a daily basis, it will
Right, right.
definitely boost my confidence, new vocabulary, and there are so many things. So I'm just trying to become a better version of myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm striving to
All,
become better.
all right. That's just wonderful. So you're primarily here for like stimulation and engagement, constant engagement, which is great.
Constant engagement. Yeah.
Right. All right, then I think with that, our session might end any second now. I had a great time with you. And yeah, good night. Take care.
Good night. Take care. Bye
All
bye.
right. Okay, bye.